Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the Dojo Kun Shill Shack. Welcome to the 16th edition of the show. As you can see, I don't have a co-host right now. You know, what kind of Shill Shack would it be without some boomerang going on, right? Except this time, it's not me. It's Don Chin. He'll be joining us as soon as he can. But we've got a great lineup of guests coming on to talk about their campaigns, whether they're in sign-up phase, funding now, or InDemand. We've got some great projects that we're going to go over, and we'll even mention a couple of mine toward the end. You know, we'll get to those. But first, let's bring in the guests that are with us right now. We have Aaron, and tell me, Aaron, is it Cancilliere?
Yes, that's close enough. Cancilliere, same.
Cancilliere? That's not. I wasn't close.
It worked.
Also, welcome to the show, Andy Smith. Thanks for being here, Andy.
Hello, always a pleasure.
Well,
glad to
you,
be
sir.
back.
And it's great to meet for the first time Gabe Eltaeb. How are you, Gabe?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Great,
What's up,
thank
man?
you. And I see we've also got with us Jose Garcia. Thank you, Jose, for being here.
What's up, everyone? Thanks
Hey,
for having us,
Jose.
Dojo.
Yeah, no problem. We've got some great campaigns to look at, and yours is among them. So we talked before we came on the show here. We've got a couple of guys who have to get up super early, so we're going to start with their campaigns and just talk about, you know, what's going well, what they expect their goals to be, and how well they're doing at getting to them. So we are going to first start out with. I'm going to share. Let's see here. Try to prevent a little bit of boomerang, but let's see what we've got. We've got to go to share screen, Chrome tab, and I will now go to, let's see, here we are, Immortal Rising.
Okay.
So, Aaron, this is your project, and you are fortunate to have Jose Garcia on your team. So why don't you start us off, Aaron? Tell us about this. I see that we're in sign-up phase, but you can tell us about the project and why we want to sign up.
Sure. It's a sword and sorcery story. It's got it's a 5-man team kind of trope with each character having very different personalities, and they are stuck together through fate to fight against evil in a battle against the gods, or with the gods. You have the good gods and the bad gods fighting, and we see from like a ground floor, first level perspective of what it's like to be caught up in a epic war.
The War of Monsters and Gods. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. So I see you've got here on the left, this says the Knights of, is it Locutus?
Locutus.
Locutus. See, I should have asked you before the show, but
It's fantasy. You can make it sound like it whatever you like.
There you go.
you are so understanding. So here on the left, we've got art by Jose Garcia. Jose, we were talking before you popped in. So this, you and Aaron had met quite some time ago before you really got in, before Aaron really got into CG. So tell me about how he got you involved, Jose.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I don't really remember how we met. It might have been it was around the time I was doing a lot of D&D commissions. I was going around groups doing Dungeons and Dragons commission, character arcs, illustrations for books, for characters. And I believe it was maybe on Facebook on the Connecting Writers and Artists. Was it?
Right.
Yeah. So
I was in so many groups, I'm not sure.
yeah, me too, man. Like I was really looking for something to work, in the same vein of D&D from Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I was really in the mood, and I saw the page because Aaron has a website where he has all the concept art, all these pages, updates. So I was kind of curious about it. We start talking. He showed me the first issue, and I really love. I sit down. I read the story, and I said I really like this. I want to get into it. So I was fortunate enough for start drawing the first Knights of Locutus, the first issue. And then we just got on. We started working like really well, and then we went up to issue 2 and hopefully issue 3.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, of all the artists in CG, you are definitely the one with the fastest pace, I would have to say. So having several books under your belt is probably par for the course for someone like you, Jose. Aaron, you know, we were talking before we came on stream that you were lucky to grab him before he started really blowing up. So I do hope that he does stay with you for Immortal Rising #3. Which one is here on the right, Aaron? So this one here with the guy in the turban with the warhammer and the elves here.
That's that must be. I can't see it. It must be Muhammad.
You can't see it. Uh-oh.
That's all
You're
right.
not sharing the screen.
I think it's Listo, the guy, with the red armor, right?
Oh yes, yep. So
There we go.
There we go. So when I had contacted Jose, I'd already had the first issue done by somebody else, artist named Kofaroso. He's from Indonesia, and I had wanted to do extra work for the story, and I was like, how else can I tell the story? And I came up with the idea of telling it from the god's perspective. So I wanted to not just have, you know, in RPG terms, like a first level view. I also wanted to show the gods and their process and how it is that the war affected them. And that's when I found Jose's work. I was like, that would be perfect. So it worked out really well. And once he did that first Knights of Locutus, it's only like a 10-page issue. So each Knights of Locutus is just added on from the main story. Once he did that, I needed to shop around for an artist for #2, because although I didn't have like a good enough network or marketing scheme or anything for the book. So I was kind of floundering. I was like, I can't stop. I want to keep the momentum of me working and making more and more. So I contacted Jose again. I was like, I need a main artist. Will you be the main artist on the second book? And he was like, yeah, definitely. So, and
Awesome.
he did issue 2 of the main story. And then he also did issue 2 of Knights of Locutus.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's, like I said, he's prolific
great.
as far as with his speed and everything. So yeah, that's good that you got him. Let's say hi to Don Chin, who's joined us finally. How you doing, Don?
Hey.
Hi.
I'm
What's
good.
up, Don?
What up, Don?
Good to see you. Sorry
Glad
about
to have you here, Don. So we're talking with Aaron and Jose about the Immortal Rising comic book and the Knights of Locutus. And we were just
Cool.
saying, you know, how fortunate Aaron is to have Jose on the project, because, you know, he's blowing up. He's got art with his own book, Lumina Vox. He's got art with Graveyard Shift with John Malin. I mean, Jose he's a workhorse, because, I mean, he even did something with me. He did the cover to my Ashcan Meanwhile. So, I mean, the guy he can't say no. Everybody just hit him up and he'll work for you.
I think with with issue #2, the main story and Knights of Locutus, it comes to like 55 pages or something like that. He cracked that out in a good maybe a month and a half, 2 months, something like that.
Wow.
Just way faster than any other artist that I worked with. I was pretty blown away.
Yeah.
But I'll say that his art style lends so well to the abstract idea, of the gods. Like I could write anything and he can draw it. So that's a huge bonus.
Man,
You
I
know
really love that Knights of Locutus. I really love it because it's so far out that I can really go all out with the designs, with the locations, and it's very fun because it's very action-packed. So we have a really big battle on the very first issue. So that was, battling the battle against the gods. These guys with these oversized weapons and everything. So it's pretty fun to draw.
So yeah, when you were pushing Lumina Vox, Jose, I have to be honest with you, the kind of subject matter or the anime style is really not my thing. But the more I watched, number one, your passion and interest in the project, but as you were revealing your pages, I'm like, this isn't quite what I thought it was. This is really something else. So I gave it a chance, and I'm one of your backers, so I can't wait to get that in my hands. How is that going?
Oh, thanks a lot. It started as an 80-page book, but Then I hit like the 10,000 stretch goal, and I decided I was going to add another 80 pages. So
Wait,
damn.
wait a minute. Wait, it was
Wow.
80 and you added another 80?
yeah,
Also add
and,
another 80.
and then right after that, I just decided to add another 30 pages. So as we're speaking now, I am finishing another double spread. This must be page 184 or 185. Yeah, so I'm doing everything. I'm doing colors. I'm doing inks, colors. I'm doing the lettering. I'm doing mostly everything, and I'm working right now on other stuff. I'm working on Tiger Blue Volume 2. I'm working on Graveyard Shift Volume 5, I think. Yeah, I have some other side stories for some guys you might know. I don't know when the announcement will be made, but yeah, I'm working all that and keeping my day job on working as a storyboard artist on Netflix. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm doing another book, a secret project right now. In this month, we are about 86 page pencils right now, and we're hoping to get the full book. It's 132 pages, all in pencils by the end of the month. So yeah, we're working real hard.
Dude, you are setting the bar so high. I'm sure all the other artists would like to just choke you.
And do you sleep? Because
Yeah, man. Yeah, I actually do have time to play games. I do play Elden Ring a lot right now, so I have an entire day to be with my girlfriend and play video games. It's just a matter of how much you can organize your time. Like I don't know why people don't get organized. Like it's really easy. You just have time. You just finish a page. You put the clock, and if it's 1 hour, 2 hours. You can just crank it out. Like you don't have to sacrifice quality on that time. It's I believe it's just the environment I was in on animation. You have to do lots of drawings. You have to do like 300 to 600 drawings a day. Maybe like 100 compositions, animate the whole thing. So I don't know. Like it's everyone I know on animation can keep up this pace. So it's really weird for me in comics. Like people get the luxury of making one page a day. Like, like that's like how much do you make per page? Like, are you making like $1,000 a page, or how? How can you keep this up, right? Like
So,
it's a
Jose,
mystery to me. Yeah.
I gotta ask, or I gotta make a suggestion. Before you put another 80 pages on this, consider, making that volume 2 of Luminivox.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, there's gonna be 2 volumes here because this is my first time crowdfunding here on CG. So I wasn't expecting to make a profit on the first book. So I decided like, okay, so it's expected the people you don't get your investment back until the second campaign, right? So I was tackling this like my mindset was pretty much like, what if this is the last thing I'm going to do, right? Like, what if this is not gonna work? I want to give the backers as much as I can. I want to tell the story. I want to get it to a certain point where you can get hooked, and that couldn't happen on volume 1. It's how volume 1 is pretty much set up, and then and it's not very compelling to people. And even me as a backer, I back several CG books. Like I see the beginning, and you can tell like, okay, this is gonna be a good story, but you have to give it time, right? But you don't have that in most of first volumes. So I said like, okay, so I have the speed, I have the time, so let's get it to volume 2 right now in this campaign, because I don't know if this is still gonna be working. I don't know. It's a lot of risk for us making campaigns, right? Like you don't know when you're gonna hit it, when you're gonna miss it. So why not go with a bang? Like hopefully this will help see people the passion and know a little bit more about the story, and get them interested for the next campaign.
That's a great point. Yeah. In fact, Aaron, I wanted to ask you, we mentioned that Jose may be with you for Volume 3 of Immortal Rising, but so what you're working on right now, this campaign that we've got on the screen, this is Volume 2, is that correct?
It'll be 1 and 2.
1 and 2. Oh, okay. So it's
together.
All right.
Yeah, I've tried, since I don't know what I'm doing, I tend to bumble around, and I consider it failing forward. So I kind of learn as I fail, and I'm finally gotten to the point where I think that I can launch and actually make it a success. So, and a part of that is streaming. So definitely, yeah. I'm trying to see if you can scroll down. I think that that's it. Yeah, I wish I could show you some more of the incredible artwork that he's got for me, but I guess we'll have to wait till it launches. But I'm really excited to get to number 3. That's really what launching this one will do, is pay for 3.
Okay, yeah. So everybody needs to get out there, sign up. Early Bird gets an exclusive trading card. So, Aaron, is that if they sign up and then they later back a physical tier? Would that be correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And I've worked with a character design artist, and he did a bunch of amazing artwork for me with the different characters, and that's what will be a part of the extra for the sign up. Okay.
The concept art is really cool. You should see the art, man.
The character design is by Steve Whitehead. Unfortunately, he's not on Twitter, or I would tag him, but he's got some really great work.
Cool. So I tried to sign up, Aaron. It's not going to let me because I already did.
Oh, see that?
There you
go. All right. So yes, thanks so much for coming on to talk about this. When you launch, please reach out to me again so that we can go over the campaign, the tiers, the various prints that you've got, the art. Okay.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Awesome. So please feel free to hang out with us for the rest of the show if you can. But I know you said you got to go, so whenever you need to go,
I will
just say so, and we'll bid you adieu.
Right on. Thanks, Dojo.
Yeah, you bet. I'm going to stop sharing that, and then we're going to go on to one moment. Share my screen again. Chrome tab. I'm going to get good at this eventually, guys.
That's a nice jacket you got on there, Don.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it. How you been?
I'm doing good, man. Got to come back on your channel so we can chat sometime.
Yeah, I had fun. I had fun with you.
Yeah, dude.
I have to have Gabe on too, and our Immortal Rising friend.
Just don't let Gabe wear that hat. That's all.
We got Russell Wilson. We're back now. Super Bowl, baby.
Oh yeah.
All right. So before we get going on your looking at your campaign, Andy, I'm going to move myself down here just a second. I want to show you something that I found in the wild.
Okay.
So this is from 1997.
It is.
It's a first printing. So, dude, that's like, if I did my math, and I know it's dangerous to do that on stream, but I think that's 24 years ago, Andy.
25, yeah.
25 years. Dude, if anybody is on the fence as to whether or not they should back his work, look at this stuff. This is 25 years ago, how good it was.
Imagine, come on now. You don't need to show that. No, it's fine.
Come on. This was good. Let me find my favorite. I
was in my 20s still, so that was nice.
Andy got to tell people I modeled for all the abs.
Oh, that's nice.
You did.
Look at that. Yeah. This is 25 years ago. Imagine. Certainly he's improved even more than that.
I would like to think so.
Yeah. Now some of this art, Andy, I got to be honest with you, is familiar because when I've seen you talking about your campaign, I think some of that is in the first volume of First Man that you've crowdfunded with CG. Is that correct?
Yeah, that whole book is recolored, and I did what I call my Neil Adams, which is I went back in like Neil did on some of his old Batman stuff. He redrew things here and there. So
Okay.
I took that because I have all the original art and I rescanned it all. And then I went back in and redrew things here and there. And then I had it all recolored, and I had it all rescripted as well. And then, of course, for the, that's all in the first volume. Plus, I added 40 pages, I think, 40 or 50 pages, something. I added a lot of pages to it as well to kind of finish that first story arc, because each volume is a self-contained story. So I finished off that story arc, and then, did this campaign, which is, brand new story arc and everything that picks up story-wise. It picks up probably just a couple weeks after that one ends, in the universe of First Man.
Okay. So this is volume 2, Learning Curve. And I think one of the things you said is the reason you call it that is that the main character, Luke, has a learning curve. He's got to learn to be the hero he wants to be, right?
Yeah, he's back on Earth. He needs to learn how to become a hero, because up until this point, he's only had these powers and been a hero for 3-4 weeks. So it hasn't been that long. So now he's back on Earth. He has to learn to become a hero. He's a freshman in college, so he has to deal with that. He's living at home. The only other people that know that about his secret are his mom and dad. So I thought Learning Curve was the best title for the book, because it's a journey that he has to go through. And, he gets involved with these 4 people, the Fourth World Foundation, and this artificial intelligence being they created named Adonis, which is the overall threat in the book that he has to conquer. And, as he goes through the book, or as he goes through the story, he'll realize that sometimes beating a threat isn't just down to physical combat. So, and his dad helps him out. His dad guides him through some stuff as well. And if people are wondering, this is what the whole issue looks like as a stack, because I finished drawing it yesterday. So this is 60 pages of a big, thank you, a big fat stack of art right there. There it is.
Nice.
So that's
Wow.
a big stack of art. So,
Bring in the fat stacks.
that's right. Everything is, I'm old school. It's all on paper.
Yeah.
So
I think I got
Slam.
the first campaign from Andy, and it was a great read. And I think on this second campaign, I might have even opted for like a sketch tier. I'll have to double check, but I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Don. All I'm doing now is just like in the first. If you got the first book, you'll notice in the back I did like bio pages of the main characters, and I designed them kind of like the original handbook of the Marvel Universe, because I loved those when I was growing up.
Oh, those are awesome.
Yeah, I thought those were fantastic. So just like in the first book, in this book, I'm doing 5 bio pages, 1 for each member of the Fourth World Foundation and 1 for Adonis. And then on the inside back cover, just like in the first book, there's going to be the fake hosted pie ad.
Oh,
because
yes.
Growing up, I love
those.
those. So I always do my parody ads. So just like the first book, it was on the inside back cover. It'll be on the inside back cover of this one as well. And so it's going along good. Now it's in the production stage, whereas my colorist is pretty much right behind me. I just got the first 30 pages from the letterer, so my co-writer and I can go through and proofread that stuff and tweak it up. So
Awesome. Oh, Adonis is still a secret to us for the time being, huh?
no,
Okay.
not really.
I really like that.
I mean, I've tweeted things out that you see them. So
All right.
yeah.
So I see that you've got a variant cover by Bart Sears. I know that you and Bart worked together closely for a long time. So
Yep.
it's great that you guys are still friends and he's able to do this for you.
Oh yeah, he's a pal, and I'm still a big fanboy for his art. So when I can get him to do something, I'm like, yes.
Right. So, I mean, clearly your art is influenced by Bart, having worked with him and inked him. But I like that you're able to emulate his style, but then still make it your own. That speaks of your own skill set.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, as when I first started out, we worked together, shared a studio, and all that stuff, and then other influences creep in, and of course, I want to go my own way.
Right.
And, do that. So
let me get back up to the top here. So you're at 41.8. You have 634 backers. Congrats on that. So at the end of at the end of the 60 days, you were at 32. So you're still chugging along here in InDemand. I think that's wise. Are you going to do that until fulfillment is done, until the next campaign launches, or what are your plans with that?
I'll keep it up in demand until the next campaign launches over the summer.
Okay.
And then that's when I'll close it down, because kind of like most people do, you just roll the book into the next campaign as a tier and stuff.
Oh yeah, catch up tier, sure. Yep.
Yeah. And I would like to say I've got 2 slots left. I did a thing where you can be drawn into the book, and there were 4 total. I've got 2 gone, so I still have 2 slots left, and I'm holding off finishing that page until almost the last minute, because I don't want to cut it off and then somebody's like, oh, I was about to do that. So
right,
if you want to be drawn in the book, you'll be a nice close-up of yourself in your own panel with a word balloon, and you'll get 4 copies of the book, not just 1. So
wow, that's great.
I'm reading the word balloon on the Become a Character tier.
Oh, well, yeah, that was from a previous book. Yeah. Yeah, that was from a previous book. So
leave it to you, Don, to pick up on that one.
I thought it was pretty catchy. So, and then there's some slots left for, if you want a piece of art by me, whether it be a full figure or a head sketch, so those are also available.
I noticed down here, it looks like this is was that a Hulk versus Superman? Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
I did. I was drawing that on a live stream, and somebody was like, you should do a Christopher Reeve type Superman. And I was like, that's a good idea. And it was originally Doomsday, and somebody said, you should do a Lou Ferrigno type Hulk. And I was like, that's easier than Doomsday. You got it. So
and somebody grabbed it up too. That's great.
Somebody grabbed it. Yeah. So I put up a Green Lantern sketch cover, because I had 2 sketch covers up. They both sold. So I put up a Green Lantern wraparound.
Very nice.
So yeah, so it's going well. I need to go in now that I have more colored pages and put some more colored pages up there that aren't spoilery type. That's the hard thing, is you don't want to spoil anything. So
right, but you're right. If you put some more pages up, it might entice a few more people to give it a chance. Yeah. So
awesome.
Well,
so it's going.
Very glad to see that it's going well. I see that this is your 4th campaign. That's awesome. And number 5, you said, is this summer, right?
Yeah. Hopefully
Excellent.
around, let's see, let me think. Probably July, I would think.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. So now let me see. So as I said to Aaron, if you want to stay, you're absolutely welcome to do that and chat with us. But if you need to go because it's getting late, I understand. I do have a late show.
I got it. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'm good for now.
All righty. So then what that means is, let me scroll down here. It looks like Gabe is sharing for us. So I will add you to the stream. And Gabe, tell us about Truth, Justice, and American Way.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to be doing this. I feel like I am 6 years old, drawn in the back of my grandparents' restaurant again. David Williams, everyone knows him, the great David Williams. He came to me with this idea right around Christmas, and he told me about it, and he told me to write a plot based on it. So I wrote that. I created a bunch of characters after he came up with these 3, and he told me, oh, wow, you're serious, after I did that. So we're just pleased as you can be to be doing this with we got the great Gary Martin inking. But Truth, Justice, American Way, and we're giving you back what they took from you. I don't want to get negative, but all the woke, you know what they took from us. You know what they took from us. And so I'm giving that back to you. So Truth, Justice, and American Way are the world's greatest, most beloved celebrity heroes. Kids everywhere wearing the T-shirt, eating the cereal, playing with the action figures. They're on all the late night talk shows, making everyone laugh and scream with delight. And then one day, the worst happens. Absolute disaster. Many lives are lost. And in the fallout from that, you know, the news media, cancel culture, Twitter, social media, they start looking into the Truth, Justice, and American Way. And by the way, those are the names of our characters. She's Truth. You got Justice in the middle and American Way. The news media starts looking into them and is like, did they do everything they could to save lives? Or are they just enjoying themselves being celebrities? And they start to look into other disasters in the past. Other times they've saved the day. And it starts to look really bad. And like that, as only the internet can do, things turn on them instantly. The government is after them. The military is after them. Their friends want nothing to do with them. Their bank accounts are frozen. They go underground. They are on the run. And they have to figure out who did this attack really, who did it, and why. And can they even trust each other when they're trying to solve this problem? And they had better hurry up, because if they don't solve this thing in a hurry, a much worse disaster is coming that's going to cost millions of lives. So that is what the first volume of Truth, Justice, and American Way is about. It's a return to like classic superheroes. That stuff we all loved in the 70s, 80s, 90s, that stuff there that was carefree action. And not just comics, but all the action movies, that sensibility of what was just wild. And they weren't looking to him like for like validation when they wrote these movies in the old days. You know what I mean? How adventure was just exciting and adventurous, and there was no political correctness or no expectation. And you've
just
got
escapism, entertainment, right?
Just entertainment. We're not preaching from the right or the left or anything. We are just buckle in, keep your hands and feet inside the ride, and here we go. When you look at this stuff from David Williams. Are you kidding me? What a great designer he is. And he worked in consumer products at Warner Brothers forever, and then he worked on Ben 10 and Superman, Batman. He's so good at drawing. DC Comics hired him when he was 17 years old. Wow. He's in his mid-50s now. Gary Martin, the inker, he wrote the book on inking, literally, that Dark Horse book on inking. He's the author and a major illustrator of that. And then I've been in this business for 20-something years, never missed a deadline. You've got three absolute killers, me, Dave, and Gary. And we're going to bring it to you with everything we got. And this is an exciting book. Just to return to the adventures of your youth when you fell in love with comics. This is our absolute love letter to comics. So get in there, click the link. You need this book. You want this book. Everyone's going to love it. The line I'm trying to write as the main script guy, Dave and I are making the story together, but the line I'm trying to write is what Batman the Animated Series did. You know, that sensibility where children that are 6, 7 years old love it, but you could be 46 years old and still love that cartoon because it's sophisticated enough for adults. So that's the line we're writing. High adventure. No political nonsense from either side. You know what I mean? Just total beauty and fun and adventure. So please check it out. It's the work of a lifetime for us. We couldn't be more blessed, more privileged to be doing this. So,
Gabe, I see you've got 7 days left. Is that in your first 30 or is that the second 30?
Just the first 30. We're going for a long time on this.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. So at this point, you've got 592 backers. Yeah. And you're at 38.5. That's great. I mean, you were wise to pick the $500 flexible goal to play with that algorithm. You're at 7,700% funded, but 38.5, that's a good start. But for a project like this, I think that you can do way better than that. I suspect you'll get to 50. Probably that could happen within the next 7 days. So let's everybody take a look at this and get backing Truth, Justice, and American Way. This stuff is great. Now, you said you've been in the industry 20-some years, Gabe. Can you tell us about some of the projects you worked on? I see, unfortunately, I sort of bowed out of buying the mainstream about 15 years ago, so I probably missed some of your work. So tell us about it.
I worked, in like independent comics, Image Comics, all that stuff. And then in 2000, so that was the first couple of years I worked at my college newspaper, the city newspaper. I worked for a Halloween, animated like Monsters and Haunted Houses. I did all kinds of art jobs starting in about the year 2000 or 2001. And then I got into comics, I think around 2002 or 3 or something like that professionally, 2001. And then I got snatched up by DC Comics at the end of 2007. I actually was the last artist Jim Lee ever hired for the Wildstorm studio. So I worked in La Jolla, California, right? It's like 3-4 miles from my house. I worked at La Jolla Wildstorm Studios as the last artist Jim Lee ever hired. It was really, really fun to be around amazing artists like Scott Williams and Sandra Hope, Jim Lee himself, Carlos de Anda. And I felt like I was getting my doctorate in art being around those people. They had so much to share, so much amazing experience. And I come from a background of playing football and coaching football and all that. I mean, come on, winners only right here, right? And,
Careful.
hey, how those Cowboys doing? Anyway.
Oh, damn. I'm just sitting here nice and
Hey,
quiet.
last time they won a playoff game, I think I was in high school, right? So,
Yeah,
no,
well.
kidding. Anyway, I worked at DC Comics the last 3 years. They changed everything to Hollywood. And so the studio in San Diego closed. They moved everything to Hollywood, and I freelanced for them until this last October, when I decided to resign from what I was doing. You may have heard.
Yeah.
You may have heard. I made a little bit of news. It is very strange to go viral globally for about 72 hours, where they're talking about you in German, in a German news program. But yeah, I didn't want to be woke. I didn't want to be part of that divisiveness, and I don't want to do it here. I don't want to bring it to this show right now. Everyone knows my position. I don't want to. I'll make it succinct, because I want to focus on how beautiful what I'm doing is. I don't want to tell white people they're racist trash. I don't want to tell patriotic people they're bigots. I don't want to tell black people and gay people they're victims. You hurt people's lives doing that, and that's what the mainstream wants to do. So do it without me. We can still be friends. I'll still have a meal with you, but I'm not doing that, because that's crazy. Art is a gift. Art is holy. Art matters, and we should make art that inspires people and lifts them up. So when you get a hold of this book and you heard the synopsis I gave you, that's exciting. You want to know, are they getting out of this mess? Because they are in deep. That's what we want you to be thrilled by, not my political leanings or David's or anyone's. I'll work with anyone. I don't care how you vote, and I'll sell to anyone. I will sell to anyone. I'm happy.
Right.
I'm happy to lease term. You know what I mean? Those are my people. So yeah. So I got number one deal for you, best deal, friend. Those are my people. My dad, he's from the desert in Africa. But absolutely, I love doing this. I couldn't be more excited. So thank you for having me on here, and thank just everyone that's backed it. And if you can't back it today, at least tell your friends about it, because I'm giving you back what they took from you. What Hollywood took away from you. You know what I mean?
That's right. This is hearkening back to when comics were fun, when the characters themselves had fun being heroes instead of all of the angst and gritty darkness and all that. I mean, there's a time and place for that. Don't get me wrong, but this is the bright colors, the excitement behind it. I can hear it from you. I can see it on the pages. This is a book that you definitely want to back, everybody. Absolutely.
Well,
Can I ask a question?
We have a little grittiness. Sorry, I'll get to your question in just a second. I love this. This is the little joke David came up with. So this is our street level guy. He's our Charles Bronson meets the Midnighter meets Punisher meets Batman. His name is Justice, right? And engraved on his Glock 17 pistol there is Easy Way, and engraved on his nightstick is Hard Way. I love that. That's why I tell you, David Williams is just an amazing designer. Oh, and women are allowed to have boobs in our comics, unlike the mainstream. I literally would get notes from editorial at DC where they would tell me to, because I did a lot of coloring, they would tell me to render it so it was flatter. So as you can see in my books, that doesn't happen. So yeah. If I could sell one more thing on it, Dave just instant messages me pictures of Jack Kirby double page spreads, and he won't even write me a message. He'll just send them to me because he knows I'm working on the script and the plot and all that. And he'll just send them to me like this, write it like this. So when you guys read this book, when you get it, I want you ducking when you read this thing. This is action-packed adventure. And here is page 1. And we have some more pages. Stuff's going to be trickling out and stuff like that. But here's page 1. Who's up there? Who they're looking at? Could be anyone. In my imagination, I hope it's a balloon of Ronald McDonald at the Macy's parade or something. He's going to shoot him right in that red nose. Anyway, I'll stop shilling. Someone had a question and I interrupted. I'm sorry. Who was that?
Oh, that's okay, Gabe. Can you tell us more about the characters? I think you just kind of told us a little bit about Justice, but what are their powers?
Oh, okay. So we have Miss Rudolph here. She is Truth, and she's a former Olympian, and she found out that she has 2 special abilities. First of all, she's athletically off the charts, superhuman. So she quit competing in the Olympics because she realized it was unfair. So that's her. So that's Truth. And she also has this very unsettling ability. Has something to do with the gold stuff on her, where she can just suss the truth out of people. She can force it out of you. And it's actually quite terrifying. And then we have American Way. His name is Joseph Ellis. He comes from a long line of Pennsylvania steel mill workers. His dad worked there, his grandfather worked there, and he one day, after layoffs, jobs going overseas, factory's not so safe anymore. He fell into a vat of supercharged American steel, and now he's permanently made out of steel from head to toe. So a lot of people, their life would be over at that point. They would feel like they're cursed, they're ruined. He decided to take that tragedy and spin it around and turn it into defending the country and the culture that he loves. So, I mean, just look at the look on his face there. He's that guy that everybody loves, that guy that always has the fun comment, always cracking a joke. He's absolutely amazing. I love the interplay of our three characters. And Justice, he is what you think. We don't know much about him. Where's he from? Is he FBI, CIA, Special Forces? I don't know. Is he cousins with Steven Seagal? It's entirely possible. He's an ass kicker, this guy, and he doesn't do a lot of talking. He does a lot of doing. He's more about being about it instead of talking about it. And I think he's the breakout character. We have a ton of fan art, and people are drawing this guy day and night. And in fact, I wrapped up my first fan art contest on my channel yesterday, and we had 2 winners. And I think I'm going to do another fan art contest and expand it a little bit because people seem to love doing that. So absolutely, thank you for that question, because that is something I did miss, is explaining the characters more fully like that. Thanks, man.
Hey, Gabe, can you tell us who won your fan art contest?
Someone named Gunsmut, and then the real Sean Crummel came in second. So they were both winners.
Okay, Gunsmut.
And then Peter Orchard, I saw him in the chat. He did an amazing job, but I didn't judge it. My daughter judged it, and she's a stand-up comedian. She's not an artist. But John Malin told me not to judge it. I was going to judge it. And he said, you'll hurt your fans' feelings if you judge it. You're a professional. You have a different outlook on stuff. A lot of them are amateurs. So I had my daughter be the guest judge. My daughter, she's a stand-up comedian, so she's a natural on camera. We do a show together every Thursday or Friday, father-daughter dance. She's hilarious, my daughter. So
will they be printed in the book, Gabe, the winners, or?
No. They get a cash prize, and then they get they get 1 copy each of these 3 gorgeous covers. That was the prize I picked for this contest. They will not be printed in the book. The only illustrations in this first edition will be David Williams. Then, of course, Gary's inking and I'm coloring. So
cool.
But yeah, we are just so excited, man. I hope it comes through.
So the 3 covers that you've got, I both want to laud you for that and wag my finger at you for that, because you're making it very difficult. If somebody wants to back just one, for example, how to pick which one you want. Because, for example, if you like Justice, this one that you're showing right now is a great one because it's nearly a full body pose.
Right.
But then you've got another one where he's that one. So how do you pick?
See, this is why I told you I'm half Middle Eastern. We're pretty good businessmen. So, you can't choose between the 3. That's part of
I see. Yeah.
That's part of
so no, do you have a feature that has all 3?
That was David Williams' idea, to do a triptych like this, but not have them stick together as one image. We were thinking of 3 different covers that were all different. And then we thought, what about 3 covers that all made one big image? And then David came up with this idea where each cover is the same layout, the same composition, but it features a different character. And when he sent the sketches over, I got to tell you guys, David, he's from another planet artistically. He's one of those guys that, like, they're touched by God. I'm not even kidding. I mean, imagine getting hired by DC at 17. You know what I mean? So I didn't get hired by them until I was 29, and I'd been trying since I was 14. He's out of this world just looking at his sketches and stuff. And he's a perfectionist, and I mean that in the good way. He's busting me all the time to color better and to write better. And he's on Gary to ink better. And he's relentless, but it's all, I mean, he's right. You can't argue with his notes. He's amazing, David. And he's a salt of the earth. Forget art. He's one of my best friends now. Like, we've been working on Bass Reeves for the Brightwisers for like 2 years now. And we become like such good friends. Forget art. And he's just a rock solid man. So he absolutely deserves your support on this, because I couldn't be more impressed with the guy.
Excellent. Well, that's good to hear that too, because a good rapport on the creative team makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't have much else to say about it.
No, that's great, Gabe. I really appreciate you coming on the show to tout the book. So what I'd like to do now is talk a little bit about my co-host and his books. He's got a couple of them that are in demand. We hadn't had a chance at the beginning to talk about it, but let me go to let's see here. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to share.
I have a show with Shanthan Jetty. He makes all those intro videos for Ethan.
Right.
We usually do it tonight at 7, so 45 minutes ago. So I have to go to that one. I didn't know how long I would be here, but I have that one set up. So I do hate to eat and run like that. I hope that it's not offensive to you guys.
It's not offensive at all, Gabe. I appreciate the fact that you were here. I hope you say hi to Shanth. We know each other.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah, he's
Gabe.
awesome too. My goodness. Nosfero looks amazing.
Yes.
So thank you for having me here. Thank you for letting me promote my book. It's an
Take it
honor.
easy, Gabe.
Everyone out there,
Nice
please
to meet
get
you,
this
man.
book. We're doing our best for you. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
Take care,
All
Gabe.
right.
Thanks
Bye,
again.
Gabe.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to hit the sack. Thanks for having me as well. Everybody, thank you for your support on the book. Brian, thank you again. Jose, great talking to you again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man. I
Aaron,
should
it
get
was
back.
nice. Yeah, dude, I'll have to have you back on. It's been a while.
Yep.
Aaron, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, you as well.
And Don, always a pleasure. Let me know, and we'll hang out again sometime.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Andy.
Take care, guys. Everybody have a good
See ya.
night.
Good
Yeah.
night, Andy.
Bye.
Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I didn't want to bring it up while he was talking, so let me do this.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for giving me a little time. I appreciate that. I wasn't.
Yeah. Hey, no problem. You've got a
Checking
couple of books that are in demand, and this is the first. Well, actually, wait. I still got to go press this one. There we go. This is the first one we'll talk about, and I know that you've fulfilled a lot of these, right? Or if not all of them by now, right?
Yeah, Beardzzzerker. Actually, I think we started fulfilling back in November, so we're just in demand, and we're getting a few orders trickling in here and there. But the thing is, I like to leave it up because for every $1,000 we make on Beardzzzerker, we can buy Michael Bancroft another manly blouse. So maybe we'll hit 11,000 and buy him something fun.
Excellent. Oh, I see. Okay, so you're at 10.4 now. You got 205 backers. So yeah, what I wanted to ask you, Don, is you've got this one, and you've also got let me see, you've got X-Farce Reloaded. I don't think I can just jump over to that one though. I'd have to stop sharing and go over there. But what I wanted to ask you about it is, so you've got them up, like you said, you leave them up there, sort of like as a store, if you will, as orders come trickling in. Since you've been fulfilling this one since November, what else is in the queue? Can you tell us anything about it?
Yeah, I can kind of let the cat out of the bag. We are planning a Beardzzzerker #2 book. And here's the thing is, I don't want to really start the campaign until the artwork is pretty much 90% done. And my other artist we're planning on working on it, he's committed on another book for at least, I think he's only got 9 out of 40 pages done. So I have to kind of wait for him to get his schedule freed up. And it won't be Bill Mouse, who is the guy that worked on the first issue with me. We collaborated a lot on parodies, and people might remember Zen Intergalactic Ninja back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So Bill and I, that Beardzzzerker was kind of like the first project we had done since 2005 under Parody Press. And so this time around, I haven't signed any contracts with the artist, but I'm hoping that Jim O'Reilly will be our artist on the second issue.
Oh, yeah, I know Jim's work.
Yeah, he's expressed interest in doing it, and he's phenomenal. I think he's going to bring a real cool vibe to it. And so Beardzzzerker 2 I'm in the process of working on the script, and my wife is kind of my editor and gives me comments on it. So I'm just in the process of just starting that whole campaign. But I do have something that I wrote already for somebody that I'm excited about, and that's the Thomas Valiant project. And Thomas Valiant is a book that R.J. Shaw has been, I think he's crowdfunded it for over like the last year or so, and he's finally fulfilling that book. And it's drawn by Renzo Rodriguez, who I think has worked on Viking Wolf and some other books. But Thomas Valiant he's like a kind of a combination Mr. Fantastic, Plastic Man type character. And in the current book that's coming out from RJ, he's more of a serious character, but RJ kind of came to me and he says, I kind of want to do a vintage retro feel to this character. Can you kind of make him like more of a silly Plastic Man type and try to do it like in a 70s style? So that's the book that I wrote for RJ, and I think he's going to release it, maybe start the campaign in the summer or something like that. So that's a project I have in the works, but it's not something that I myself am doing the campaign for. So those are pretty much the two projects that I have going right now, Brian. And, you know, I'm open if someone's looking for a, you know, freelance writer, I'd be happy to discuss that. I've got some time, but for now I'm enjoying just kind of doing the weekly show like you do. I do a morning show on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern time. So I was just on earlier this morning with a couple creators. So
yeah, sometimes I'm able to catch that on my lunch hour, which is, you know, perfect timing.
Cool. I hope you're feeling better too, by the way. I'm glad you're feeling well enough to stream.
Yes, thank you. My wife and I both went through quite the ringer for about 5 days. And today I think is the first day that we're both feeling pretty close to normal now. So I appreciate that.
Good. That's great.
Is there any way we can see that trailer? I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you'll love it too. Let me get back to that.
I've heard of the campaign. I just haven't seen the trailer.
Okay. So since I did Chrome tab, there should be audio, but let me know if there isn't.
All right.
Comics are totally awesome. And I'm totally awesome too. Beardzzzerker has everything you want from a comic book. It's got great drawings, colors, great story. It's got great action, has a little romance, and it's about something. Not just any something. It's a parody of some thing. And I was like, well, I used to collect and I love comic books. And they were like, so, did you ever want to make a comic book? And I was like, yeah. And then Parody Press was like, oh, yeah. So they made a comic book that's a parody of my comic book. And it will probably be pretty hilarious, because that's what a parody is. Or at least what it's supposed to be. You know, this idea of kind of like a rock and roll warrior, someone in an altered state, someone with a big guitar axe, and a pet cat that's from the hood, just out of control. Speaking of out of control, there's his beard. It gets bigger and longer throughout the book until it takes on a fantastical life of its own. It's like, whoa! So check it out. If you do, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. But honestly, I didn't really do that much, other than rambling on about comics and books. I mean, comic books. Wait, what was I saying? Oh well. Enjoy! Beardzzzerker from Parody Press. Back it today!
Holy shit. It's great.
That was fun.
Indeed.
That's a great idea.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Don's stuff has been fun for a long time. It's great that you came on the stream, Don, to help my new or my guest co-host. I appreciate that. Sorry you had some difficulty at the beginning, but I'm glad you popped in.
Thanks for the invite. Yeah, I had to bring my laptop down because my desktop computer, when I went to go into the StreamYard link, it said your camera and mic are blocked, and I kept on trying to unblock it, and it was still giving me that message even after I rebooted it twice. But thankfully I had plan B and it worked, so that's good.
Yeah. Aaron, you had that problem last year, you said, so I wonder if you passed the torch.
Yeah. Good, as long as the curse is over.
Oh man.
So one thing I want to do before we go is just really quick mention my campaigns that are live right now. The first is Toro Tales. I'll mention that one. So let me go to share screen. And then I've got to all the stuff you got to do. All right, there we are. So Toro Tales is an 88-page anthology. It's full color. It is complete, folks, so you can back with confidence. There's just a few more days left on the campaign, though. So, I'd be excited to get this into your hands. The cover is by Eric Ninoltowski, and the cover that you see here on the screen is actually just his pencil version that I had watercolored. The final version of this will be far more detail. And as I say that, though, I really like the look of this watercolored pencil version. I might make that a print for the campaign as well. In addition to that, here's some of the sample art. I don't want to spend too much time on it. We've only got a couple of minutes here, but just to give you guys a little bit of a taste of the kind of art you'll see inside. There are 7 writers, 9 artists, 7 colorists, and 5 letterers on this book.
Wow.
The first 100 backers of a physical tier get a handmade BD buddy of Canadian Shield, one of the main characters who debut in this book. And I also want to scroll down here to show you the exclusive hardcover. There are 50 editions or 50 copies of this edition that are available. I think 10 of them have been snapped up already, so it's going well as far as the sales on this one. The art on this is by a married couple from Italy named The Art of Puro. So Andreas is the line artist, and then his wife Monica does the coloring. And I think that they did a bang-up job on the character here called Sakura.
I like the coloring for sure.
I kept this campaign simple. Oh, I'm sorry, what, Don?
I was going to say Eric is phenomenal. I've had him on my show a few times, and I love his work.
Oh, yeah. And Andy's a great guy, so that helps as well. I kept the campaign pretty simple, though. There's just a couple of add-ons. There's the chibi stickers that are very popular. And a lot of people talk about wanting additional content. So this is a supplemental ash can that is also available as an add-on featuring my character Bog. And the artist on this is Mike Salter. Mike did the art on Siamese number 1 and 2. And we're excited to have him back at Dojo Kun.
Nice.
And then let me drop that real quick and then go to StreamYard. And one more thing to share real fast. I've also got a license with an award-winning novelist named Janice Hardy. And Janice wrote the trilogy called The Healing Wars. And in the Healing Wars world, there are certain people who have the ability to absorb pain from people and then push it into a blue metal called pinvium. And then the pain merchants in that world fashion weapons out of those, such that if you're hit by, let's say it's a warhammer, and that would normally do crushing damage, well, you're also then inflicted with all of the pain that had been pushed into that metal. Now, the main protagonist, Naya, who is on the hero's journey here, her powers are flawed. She can't push it into that metal. She can instead do something called shift the pain from one person to another. Her country is overrun by an opposing army, so she's on the run constantly. She's an orphan. And when her sister goes missing, she's got to step up and do what she can to save her sister, but then that reveals her powers. And then, of course, She's worried about being weaponized against her own people. So the journey she goes on is she goes from very meager beginnings to becoming the world's hero, as you can imagine. If I was to liken this to any other like trilogy of novels, I would say it's a lot like the Healing War, or I'm sorry, it's a lot like the Hunger Games or Divergent in its the protagonist's journey.
Okay.
The artist on this is Zilson Costa, who did Siamese number 3 and 4. So it's another artist I've been working with for years. He and I have a fantastic rapport, and he's really, I mean, this is top tier art here with Zilson on it, and he's pretty quick too. He's not Jose Garcia quick, but he's quick. And if you back this at a physical tier, along with backing Cobalt Death Stalks Us by Jake Adams of Tail End Studio, this print then comes to you for free. And this print is by Shelby Robertson, and it features 17 creators in CG Comics, their characters on this wanted poster, which is an homage to X-Men number 141, The Days of Future Past.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a letterer put their names under each of their faces, and then on the back of this print will be their names, the book they're from, and their creator's name. So it's easy to see, who they belong to. But just to name a couple of them, we've got 2 guys from CG UK here, from Aria Black and Kami Mark. Their characters are on here. I've got Ella from The Lucent up here, Reaper Destroyer from Joanne Sontag, Perfect 10 from Genuine Comics. So there's a lot of great characters on here, including, of course, Cobalt and Naya. They're on the poster here because they too are wanted in this scenario.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So if you've got the opportunity to give this a chance, this is going to be 6 issues, 2 issues for each of the novels that Janice wrote. And one more thing, I have the greatest editor on this set of comic books. It's Janice Hardy herself. She's editing the work for me to make sure that all of the right important points appear in the comic book.
Very sweet.
So, guys, we've gone a couple minutes over. I want to say thank you so much for being here for all this time, for talking about these freaking awesome campaigns. I think that this the show went pretty well, just minor boomerang, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when the next one's coming up. I've got another all-star lineup for next week, but I won't tell you yet. Just got to watch Twitter to see who's coming up. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dojo.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Nice meeting you, Don.
Nice meeting you too. Bye, Aaron. Bye, Jose.